live? We're good?
Yep.
Okay, cool. High vibes, everybody.
High vibes.
Welcome to Vibration's live stream. We're going to be doing another Astro Solsin rewind where we watch an old Astro video and kind of break it down a little bit and give you more basic information that goes along with what he's saying and helps you better understand it. So today we're going to watch the video called Taking Spiritual Action. So it should be a good one.
Okay, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Astro Solsin. Welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I wanted to go ahead and share some information on taking action, because a lot of people do not take action in their lives. They're just sitting around, just waiting for stuff to happen, waiting for success to magically just find them and all this type of stuff. You have to take action in your life, even on your spiritual path. You do not become spiritually in tune. You do not become spiritually enlightened. You do not become spiritually awake by sitting around and waiting for it to happen. You got to be on the search. You see, you have to change something in your perception that's telling you, oh, I could just wait around for something to save me. Nothing's going to save you. You see, you have to save yourself. And most of the time, you're saving yourself from yourself, because you're the person that's actually holding yourself back, no one else. Yes, there's attacks. Yes, there's, spiritual entities and things out here that influence you to further attack yourself. Yes, there's these energy vampires and these psychic rebels and stuff that will try to come out here and get your energy and all that type of stuff. But ultimately, the only person that can hold you back in your spirituality is you. Nothing.
So I just wanted to add to that real quick that he's basically just saying that a lot of the times when you get into spirituality, it's a lot of outward things that you're focused on. That's just like the new age spirituality is like focusing on like ascended masters to save you, or like I don't know, like yoga or something to save you. But really it's all about putting in the work within and going within and like doing that inner work and making sure that you're getting yourself right and you're using yourself to kind of lift you up onto your spiritual path. It's not anything like outwardly that's gonna save you or like help you grow in any way. I mean, there are some things that will help you grow, but most of it is from your inner work that you're gonna do. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Nothing else in this realm can stop you from being a spiritual being except for yourself. You make the choices. You make that choice to take action in your life. When you're just sitting around doing nothing, you made the choice to do that. When you're being lazy, when you're procrastinating, when you're being dirty, not cleaning up, all this type of stuff, it's because of you. You can't blame anybody, because everybody wants someone to blame, but they never want to blame themselves. They never want to take responsibility for anything. You have to be responsible for what's going on in your life. You might say, oh, well, my life is hard because of this and that and this and that. There's somebody whose life was 10 times harder than your life that made it out. There was people that were, I guess you would say, at the bottom of the void. They were at the pit of the void. They were truly a lost soul, and they've made it out. They've reached that immortal consciousness. They've been able to make it out of the matrix. But they didn't do it by sitting around. They didn't do it by feeding their ego. Oh, I don't gotta, take any action. I don't gotta join a community. I don't gotta do any of this stuff. I can do it all on my own. And they're not making any progress because they're feeding into their ego.
Yeah, like the ego will definitely tell you that your life is the worst, that all your problems are the biggest problems in the world, and from a certain subjective experience like that is what you have to overcome. You have to overcome that part of yourself that says that all these problems I have are just holding me back, and I can't do anything about them, and I can't progress, and I can't move forward with my life, and I can't, take action to change things. But it's really like inside of you that you need to go in and say, well, I don't have to listen to this part. I can say, no, I don't agree with what you're trying to tell me, that, so.
Yeah, you don't have to settle with like what cards you've been dealt. You can always, you know, take advantage of what you've been dealt with and make the best of it, and then grow from it and learn from it and become a stronger and better person from it, instead of just using it as an excuse and as a crutch as to why you're not growing on your path, and you're not putting in the work for spirit and going all in like you should be and like you could be. A lot of people can use it as an excuse, but it's up to you to really push past the ego, like Adam said, and like tell yourself, like, no, like this is just excuses. This is just my mind. This is just the ego trying to get me off of my path, and I know exactly what I need to do, and get that laser focus.
You have to take action in this world no matter what you're doing, whether it's spiritual, whether it's mental, whether it's physical. You got to take action. If you want to be successful on the physical plane, if you want to create currency for yourself, you have to take action. You have to make sacrifices. If you want success mentally, you got to go read a book or watch one of my videos or something like that. Or, you got to go out and do something. You see? If you want to get in tune spiritually, you got to take spiritual action. You see? Even getting in tune spiritually takes physical action and mental action. You see, if you want to meditate, you got to physically sit down and meditate. Then you got to mentally clear your mind out so that you can get in tune with the spiritual realm. But most people are still dealing with their mind. And the majority of humanity won't even physically take the time to sit down and try to meditate. And the majority of the ones that do sit down and try to meditate, when it comes to the mental, they're not able to actually clear their mind. A lot of people think that they're, visiting the spiritual realm and they're getting in tune with angelic angels and, all these different beings and stuff, when they're still dealing with their imagination.
Got an ad there we have to get through.
Hey, we got there early. Normally, with our bags and everything, we just sit tight. But then I was like...
Now we can skip it.
Okay, let's skip that. There we go.
And imagination isn't bad. I'm not saying the imagination is bad. Imagination is very powerful. You can do a lot with your imagination. Just ask anybody in the community that's in tune with, the higher use of the tools. The people that really know how to use the crystals. People that actually know how to use their animal totems in the RTM community. They know how important the imagination is. It's one of the steps on the 7 stages of consciousness in the upper world. So the imagination is very strong, but eventually you got to get out the imagination and take the next step. But a lot of people don't want to take that next step. They want to imagine success. They want to imagine that they're in the spiritual realm. They want to imagine that they have all this focus and mental clarity. They want to imagine that they're connecting with spirit, but they're not connected to shit. And this isn't to put anybody down. This is actually to help light that fire under you, to take the action, to take the next step. Because a lot of you guys are scared. I've been there too. I was scared. I had to let go of a lot of things. I had to make a lot of sacrifices to get to where I'm at today. And it was scary because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what was at the end of that tunnel. I didn't know if it was light at the end of the tunnel or if the darkness kept going. But I took a leap of faith. And you all have to take that leap of faith within yourself. You see, I'm not telling you to have faith in me. I'm telling you to have faith in you. Once you believe in yourself, once you truly believe that you can get out of this thing, then the journey begins. See, a lot of you, just because you're watching spiritual videos and reading spiritual books and all this stuff, your spiritual journey hasn't truly begun yet. You see? Because your spiritual journey is inward. And once you go inward and you find what's inside, then the spiritual journey begins. That's when a lot of people realize, like, I got to join a community, because they went inward. They got rid of the ego. They went inward and got in tune with their heart and realized it's about coming together. It's about connecting. That's spiritual beauty right there.
I just wanted to add like the benefits of being in a community, because I mean there are just so many benefits, and I feel like personally you can only grow so much on your spiritual path on your own, and then once you get in that spiritual community, it's like you just hit all through the plateaus that you had reached on your own, because when you're in a true spiritual community, at least like RTM, then you are just constantly being connected with your spiritual brothers and sisters. And when you're constantly connecting and you're constantly like interacting with each other, then you're gonna be able to inspire each other and help each other grow in ways that you couldn't have grown on your own, because you wouldn't have had someone else almost pushing you, or you wouldn't be the one lifting someone else up. So it's truly a beautiful thing when you come together and you connect. And yeah, like he said, you have to take that leap of faith. Like it is scary. It's scary to connect. I think we've all been through that fear of connecting, but at some point you have to realize like I can't continue growing if I don't make that next step, if I don't take that next step. And I think that's an important step to take on your path. It's probably one of the most important steps to take, is to really go all in with a community and grow and just become part of that wholeness of like a true spiritual community like RTM.
Yeah, there's something special about getting past that part of your mind that that may just want to disconnect you from everyone else.
Yeah.
And that fear of being judged, or just worried that someone is going to judge you, or expect something from you, or want you to change in a certain way that doesn't feel right to you. But when you have a true spiritual community, there's no judgment. It's all about like them just wanting what's you want for yourself. Really just wanting you to be able to grow. And so like when you're getting in tune with going within and dealing with whatever issues you have that you feel are holding you back from growing, they're just going to be there to support you and push you, and it's really a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is.
You see, but everybody else, they'll try to tell you, I can do it on my own, you don't need to connect and all this type of stuff. Don't you see these people that are running the planet right now, these different entities and stuff, that supercomputer that's running the program and everything, how it's trying to separate everybody? When you see that the masses are separating, what does that mean you're supposed to do? You're supposed to do the opposite of what the masses are doing. All those people that are drones and robots and on that hive mind, you got to do the opposite of them. What are they doing? They're disconnecting. They're getting in tune with their ego. You get what I'm saying? They're dividing and conquering. So your job is to connect, to come together, to get out of your ego, to tune into love, which is the heart. And the heart doesn't represent anything but your spirit, getting in tune with who you truly are. Because you're not your mind, you're not your body, you're your spirit, which observes the mind and the body, which observes this whole reality that we're in. But it's only going to happen if you take action. And taking action takes sacrifice. It takes discipline. It takes a true burning desire to want to be free. So if you don't have that burning desire, why are you here? For entertainment? To just juice up your imagination a bit so you can imagine aliens and angels and all this stuff? Because that's not about spirituality. Spirituality is about you getting in tune with your spirit, which is the spirit. The spirit inside of me is the spirit inside of you. When you realize that everything is connected and we're all one, then you're getting somewhere. But first, you have to get rid of the illusion that there is a you, because you don't exist. That's the ultimate illusion, that there is a you, that there is a single unit of consciousness that is just you. But it takes a lot of scratching away at the ego and getting rid of the ego to come to that conclusion. Because there is no Astro Solsin. I am what I am. And what I am is you. And you are I. And so is everyone else. You're all a part of me, and I'm all a part of you. You are my reflection, and I'm a reflection of you. You see, this world is a mirror. It's a magical mirror. Everything that you see on the outside is a reflection on the inside. When you see hurt and pain on the outside, guess what? You're hurting and having pain on the inside. When you see happiness and joy on the outside, guess what? You're seeing happiness and joy on the inside. You see?
Oh no, another one.
What if I were to tell you that the purpose of our highest potential is...
Life is an illusion, and you have to find yourself within that illusion. And yourself might not be what you think it is, because you have already been programmed and conditioned to think that you're separate from everything else. But once you realize you're part of the whole, then you're getting somewhere. Then we can talk. Then you'll start asking me the right questions, and we can go to the next level. You see, but a lot of you guys don't ask me the right questions. A lot of you ask me silly questions, and that's cool and fine. You know, I'm not judging anybody, but I'm just being real. Some of you guys ask me silly questions. Some of you guys ask me questions that have nothing to do with anything. And some of you guys ask me some pretty good questions, but are they the real questions that are going to lock your connection to source? You got to ask yourself these things sometimes. Sometimes you got to ask yourself the right question before you can ask somebody like me the right question. You see?
I just wanted to add that once you start to really get in tune with your true spirituality, with going within and working on yourself and connecting with your spiritual brothers and sisters, you'll start to realize more how much we truly are all connected, and how much it is all about the we and not the me, and how we make up one big whole. And it's crazy to think that, you know, we are all so connected, and so like we're just one, and the spirit within me is the spirit within you. And you know, when you get on your true spiritual path is when you'll start to really recognize, like, wow, we actually are all connected, because then you'll start to see the synchronicities within each other's lives, and how spirit played such a big role in bringing us all together, and how, because the spirit within me is the spirit within you, we are now one. So it goes deep.
Yeah, and even on a basic level, when you're just kind of like tuning into the idea that those people around you, you know, who you're connecting with are, you know, a piece of you, and you can see that they're going through a certain thing, or they're experiencing something, or you can see that they're reaching out to you as you're experiencing something. You can share, you know, what you're going through, they'll share what they're going through, and you just start to see that like it's all a very similar experience, and that you can learn from them as much as they learn from you. You don't have to always be so isolated, and even though, you know, it is your own inner journey, you can still be sharing some of that with them, and growing from the fact that they've maybe gone through something similar, or they have a perspective that you haven't reached yet. And it's really amazing when you just start kind of like experiencing your growth as a connected piece of that larger spirit.
Whole, yeah.
Switch back.
Okay.
See, there's certain processes that have to take place inside of you before you can come to me with the right questions, and I give you certain answers that all those answers are going to do is cause more questions in the inside of you, so that you can become more conscious. You see, I don't make you conscious. I just help you explore consciousness. I just help you explore awareness. I just help guide you to the next stage. I'm a spiritual guide. I'm helping guide you to your true self. But I'm gonna pretty much leave it at that. Just take the action, you know. Some people ask me, how do I take that next step? How do I take action? I I got the website. I tell you, there's hundreds of videos on the websites full of invaluable information. You can get connected with the community and talk to people in the community and get invaluable information from them. People that have been on their path and that are growing. Some of those people that have made different choices and made certain sacrifices. But even some of them are still growing. But it helps to be able to get the perspective from somebody that might be growing as well. So, take a look at the website, reprogramthematrix.com. I have a link in the description. It's always in there for anybody that wants to take a look. And just becoming a member isn't going to change your life. Because there's people, they become a member, but they don't really get in tune with the information. They don't really apply it. If I probably asked all the people that are members on the website if they watched every single video, if they've applied everything that is mentioned in those videos and took it serious, hardly any of them could say yeah. And they wonder why they're not asking the right questions. But I believe in all of you guys. I have faith in all of you guys. We can all make it out of here because it's about us coming together to make it out. It's about us coming together to get free. So my full love and my gratitude. Hey, what's up, everybody?
All right. So that was taking spiritual action. Just to recap, I think it's just reiterating that it's just super important that you, one, take responsibility for your own spirit and your own life and your own journey here, because there are a lot of things that can play into your journey and that can kind of steer you off of your true path, and it's up to you to be able to recognize that and identify that it's not what you're supposed to be doing, and just become more in tune with what you're supposed to be doing, and that's going within and figuring out yourself and becoming more connected and reconnecting with your spirit and with your spiritual brothers and sisters, and making sure that you're not procrastinating on that, you're not making excuses for yourself, you're not being lazy or being dirty or whatever it is that might be slowing you down on your path. It's important that you start to take that spiritual action, because this place it can go really deep, but you just have to be willing to go within to figure that out.
Yeah, and also if you just have any further questions or want to connect with us, reach out to us in the comments or email us at info@vibranation.com.
Yep.
We're definitely always looking to connect and grow the spirit family, and just really we see the value in the spirit within us is the spirit within you, and we just really want to be able to connect with all of you.
Yeah. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
To spread the message, spread the vibes, and help other people turn up and other people connect and get on their spiritual path, because it truly is life-changing, and it's a beautiful thing, like we've said. So, yeah, with that, we'll leave you to it. We hope you all have a good day, and thanks for tuning in. Our gratitude, and peace in and out.
See you next time.